Have you ever noticed how one narcissistic person can influence an entire group? People who used to be kind start repeating their stories. Friends begin to doubt you. Family members pull away. Coworkers start acting strange around you. And you're left thinking, how did this happen so fast? If that's happened to you, it can feel surreal, like your reality is getting erased in slow motion. This is what I call the narcissist's web of control. And once you see how it works, you can stop blaming yourself and start protecting your energy. In this video, I'll explain what the web of control is, how it's built, why good people get pulled into it, how it gets used against you through flying monkeys and smear campaigns, and how to step out in a calm, realistic way. And later in the video, I'll give you short scripts you can use when someone confronts you with the narcissist's version of reality. My name is Killian from Deal with Narcissist. I grew up with a father who showed a lot of narcissistic behavior, so this topic is personal. For a long time, I didn't understand how one person could shape the beliefs of so many people around them. But when I started observing the patterns, it began to make sense. One important note before we start. I focus on behavior, not labels. I can't diagnose anyone. When I say narcissist here, I mean repeated patterns of manipulation, image control, entitlement, and emotional immaturity that harm people around them. Let's start with what the web of control actually is. The web of control is a system around the narcissist. It's made of people, stories, and unspoken rules that protect their image and keep control over how others see them and how others see you. At the center is the narcissist, who needs admiration, control, and confirmation. Around them are people who believe the persona and repeat it. Some defend the narcissist. Some pressure you to be nice or forgive too quickly. Some pass on messages, gossip, or warnings that keep you small. And because it comes through other people, it can feel like the whole world is taking their side. This is why the web is so damaging. It doesn't only attack your reputation, it attacks your self-trust. To understand the web, it helps to name the roles inside it. First, there's the narcissist. They control the story and manage the image. They often look charming, helpful, impressive, or so strong. Then there are flying monkeys. Flying monkeys are people who act on behalf of the narcissist toward a third person. They might pressure you, shame you, deliver messages, spread rumors, spy, or keep tabs on you. Some do it knowingly. Many truly believe they're helping or keeping the peace. Then there are enablers. These are people who minimize, excuse, or look away. They don't want conflict, so they choose denial. Then there are lieutenants. These are inner circle people who actively support the narcissist's control. They may coordinate social pressure, collect information, or keep the narrative going. Then there are bystanders. They may not love the narcissist, but they also won't risk becoming the next target. So they go quiet or follow the strongest story. And sometimes there are people who enjoy drama, status, or gossip. They get pulled in because the narcissist offers them a role and a sense of importance. This is why the web isn't black and white. Not everyone in the web is evil, but the result can still be brutal for the person being targeted. The narcissist rarely builds control through one big, dramatic move. They build it through repeated small moves that look innocent on the surface. Step 1 is scanning. They scan for people who are easier to influence. People who want approval. People who avoid conflict. People who care about status. Kind people who assume others have good intentions. And people who are vulnerable at that moment, may be lonely, stressed, grieving, unsure, or in need of stability. Step 2 is charm and flattery. In the beginning, they give a lot. Attention, compliments, support, it can feel warm, even exciting. But it's not a real connection, it's a hook. Sometimes you notice a strange pattern in conversations. They ask a few questions, then they keep complimenting you. And it can feel repetitive and empty, because the conversation doesn't deepen. It circles back to them, their stories, their opinions, their needs. That's often an early clue that it's not sincere interest. It's positioning. Step 3 is information gathering. They ask questions, and it can look like interest. But with time, it can feel more like an interrogation. They're mapping your emotional landscape. They want to know your values, your fears, your pain points, and what you deeply hope for. That information becomes leverage later. Step 4 is building social proof. They don't only charm you, they charm the room. They perform kindness where it can be seen. They highlight good deeds. They position themselves as generous, impressive, and trustworthy. And this is the key. They create an echo. People start repeating it for them. He's such a great guy. She's amazing. You're lucky. Step 5 is testing your environment. The web doesn't only involve you. They test your friends and family too. They want to know who can be charmed and who is grounded and therefore dangerous to their control. They may flatter your parents, praise your friends, tell cute stories about you that make them look devoted. Then they watch who responds with admiration. They take note of who's impressed and who seems skeptical. If someone is easily charmed, they become a useful piece of the web. If someone is skeptical, the narcissist may keep them at a distance, plant doubts about them, or start a small smear. Nothing big at first, just enough to make that person look negative, jealous, or cold. Step 6 is planting doubt about people outside the web. Once they know who they don't control, they start weakening those connections. And this part is often disguised as care. They might say, "Why didn't your family visit your workplace yet? Don't they support you? You deserve better. Why does your friend never call you first? Are you sure they really value you? I just don't like how they talk to you. You deserve more respect than that." If you already had small insecurities in those relationships, these questions hit hard. The narcissist magnifies doubts and gives them constant attention. Over time, you may feel less connected to friends and family and more understood by the narcissist. That's the trap. It's not love. It's dependency. Step 7 is quiet isolation. They don't say, "Stop talking to your friends." They create tension, fatigue, and distance until contact feels harder. Then your world narrows, and the narcissist becomes the main source of validation, connection, and reality. One more pattern often shows up here. Everything becomes conditional. If you play along, you get warmth and approval. If you don't, you get blame, coldness, or punishment. That trains you to self-censor and comply, and it strengthens the web. That's how the web gets built. Now, I want to make this concrete with a simple example. This is a situation I observed in my own environment. It's simplified, but it shows the pattern. In this example, there's a man who is charming, intelligent, and has a position of status as a leader in a large organization. From the outside, he looks successful and confident. A woman starts a relationship with him. She feels drawn to his charm, and she's proud to be with someone others see as impressive. At first, everything looks wonderful. He tells inspiring stories. He gives generous compliments. He presents their relationship as special. Her family and friends are happy for her. They see a man who takes care of her. Over time, something subtle shifts. She becomes quieter and more toned down. In social situations, he takes the stage as the charismatic storyteller. Conversations circle back to him, his achievements, and his opinions. When she tries to share something real, there isn't much space for it. She begins to show small signs of stress, poor sleep, feeling tired, a sense that something isn't right. But she only hints at it when he's not around, and there never seems to be enough space to really talk about it. Around them, a chorus builds. People talk about how amazing he is. They repeat his status. They praise his generosity. Many become part of his web without realizing it. At the same time, she gradually becomes more dependent on him. Emotionally and sometimes financially, she has less contact with her friends and family. People who sense something is off often feel unsure. It seems dramatic to speak up when everyone else is praising him. Some pull back quietly because they feel like they can't reach her anymore. Others get targeted with negative stories and slowly pushed out. From the outside, there's a happy couple with a successful partner. From the inside, there's a woman who feels less like herself, less visible, more tired, and more alone. The web is in place. Now, when does the web really activate? The web becomes active when something threatens the narcissist's control. This could be you seeing the truth, you pulling back, you setting a boundary, you becoming stronger, or you stopping your emotional reactions. At that moment, the tactics become more intense. The first big tactic is the smear campaign. A smear campaign is an attempt to damage your reputation and make others doubt your story. They flip the narrative. They present themselves as the victim. They present you as the problem. And they often frame it as concern. They might say, "I'm worried about them. They seem unstable lately. I think they might have a drinking problem. They're saying strange things about me. I'm scared they're not well." Because the narcissist already built trust and status, people are likely to believe them. And when you react, the reaction can get used as proof. This is why smear campaigns feel impossible to fight. It can feel like anything you do confirms their story. The second tactic is abuse by proxy. Instead of attacking you directly, they get other people to do it. People question you, shame you, pressure you, or deliver messages. The narcissist stays clean while others do the dirty work. This creates plausible deniability. They can say, "I didn't do anything, people are just concerned." The third tactic is triangulation. That's when they use a third person to create insecurity, competition, jealousy, or fear of replacement. They compare you to someone else. They hint that someone else understands them better. Or they recruit neutral people to pressure you into compliance. It keeps you unstable and focused on proving yourself. The fourth tactic is advocating the narcissist's greatness. People praise them loudly. They talk about how kind, generous, talented, or strong they are. They may say you're lucky or that you should be more grateful. Hearing this while you're experiencing manipulation behind closed doors is confusing. It makes speaking up feel risky. You don't want to look dramatic. You don't want to be the negative one. And the fifth tactic is continued isolation. The web pressures you away from people who might support you. It strengthens dependency. It makes you doubt your connections. It makes you feel alone. Now let's talk about why good people get pulled into this. Not everyone in the web is a bad person. A lot of them are kind. Some are conflict avoidant. Some want to believe the best about people. Some are impressed by confidence or status. And most people don't expect someone to be skilled at manipulation. We start with basic trust. A narcissist abuses that. Some people are also less dominant and have learned to survive socially by aligning with dominant people. Others like gossip and drama, and they're attracted to the narcissist's world because it feels powerful. Understanding this doesn't mean you have to accept their behavior. It helps you stop personalizing everything. A web is a system. It runs on psychology. Now, how do you know if you're caught in it? Instead of only looking at surface signs, focus on how you feel. Your body and your energy usually know the truth, even when your mind tries to explain everything away. Asking the right questions to yourself is very important to gain validation in your own mind for your experience. Your intuition knows the truth, but it might be pushed away. These are some questions to ask yourself. Do you feel like your self-worth drops around this person? Do you feel drained instead of supported? Do you doubt your own observations more than you used to? Do you pull back from friends or family without even noticing it? Do you feel pressure to admire or protect the narcissist? Do you blame yourself for things you would never blame someone else for? Do you feel calmer when they're not around? If you relate to this, it's not a sign that you're weak. It's a sign that your nervous system has been reacting to real patterns. This is where cognitive dissonance often shows up. Part of you knows something is wrong. Another part tries to explain it away, because accepting it is painful. That back and forth can make you feel confused, guilty, and stuck. So what do? How do you step out of the web without getting pulled into constant fights or constant explaining? Here's the first shift that changes everything. Shift your focus from proving the truth to protecting your energy. It's natural to want people to understand. You deserve to be seen clearly. But trying to convince the entire web can become a draining mission that consumes your life. So instead of asking, how do I make them see? Ask, how do I protect my energy and sanity in this situation? That shift loosens the web. Now, let's go step by step. Step 1. Validate your experience. Your body has been telling you the truth for a long time. Trust the signals. You don't need the whole group to agree with you for your experience to be real. Step 2. Reduce the information flow. The web runs on access. Access to your emotions. Access to your private life. Access to your reactions. So you start sharing less, explaining less, defending less. Need to know only. Step 3. Create reality anchors. This is especially important if you've dealt with gaslighting, smear tactics, or group pressure. After confusing interactions, write down what happened and how you felt. Save messages if you need to. Not to obsess, but to stay grounded in your own memory. Step 4. Choose 1 or 2 safe reality checks. You don't need a crowd. Sometimes one grounded person changes everything. Someone who listens without twisting your words. Someone who doesn't rush to defend the narcissist. If you have access to a therapist, that can be a calm, safe place too. Step 5. Create emotional and practical distance where you can. Emotional distance can look like sharing less personal information and not engaging in provoking conversations. Practical distance can look like clearer limits around time, contact, money, or shared responsibilities. Sometimes low contact is enough. Sometimes no contact becomes the healthiest option. There's no one answer for everyone. There's only the answer that keeps you safe and steady. Now, I want to give you something very practical. What do you say when a flying monkey confronts you? What do you say when someone repeats the narcissist story? What do you say when people push you to explain yourself? Here are short scripts you can use. Keep them calm. Keep them brief. Your goal is not to win a debate. Your goal is to stop feeding the web. If someone pressures you to talk through them, say, I'm not discussing private issues through other people. If someone fishes for details, say, I'm keeping this private. I'm focusing on peace and distance. If someone says, but they're such a great person, say, I'm glad you've had a good experience. Mine has been different. If someone insists you explain yourself, say, I'm not going to debate my reality. I'm stepping back from this conversation. And if you're dealing with this at work, say, I'm focused on the work. If there's a concern, I'm happy to address it through the proper channel. These lines protect you because they don't give the web much to carry. No drama, no fuel, no long explanation. Now, a warning that can save you a lot of pain. One of the biggest traps is defending yourself inside the web. It feels natural to think, if I explain clearly, they'll understand. But the web isn't built for truth. It's built for control and image. So often, the more you explain, the more your words get twisted, the more private details get used against you, and the more you look emotional or defensive to people who already believe the narcissist. This doesn't mean stay silent forever. It means be strategic. Your goal is not to win the whole group. Your goal is to protect your reality and your life. Another important part is not playing the narcissist game. If you try to fight the web with the same tactics, it usually backfires. It drains your energy and it gives them more material. So instead, stay consistent. Stay calm. Let your behavior be your evidence. Over time, some people will wake up. They might notice inconsistencies. They might feel uncomfortable with the gossip. They might realize the narcissist always needs a target. Other people won't wake up. And that's painful, but it's also clarity. You learn who is safe by watching behavior, not by chasing validation. A safe person listens. A safe person doesn't punish you for honesty. A safe person doesn't run to report everything back to the narcissist. Now let's talk briefly about one of the most painful situations, when your own family is part of the web. If family members are acting like flying monkeys, it can feel like betrayal. In those cases, you don't have to convince everyone. Start with safety and stability inside yourself. You may find one family member who can listen. And you may also build a chosen family of friends and supportive people who see you clearly. You're allowed to redefine family based on behavior, not blood alone. Okay, let's land this with a calm summary. The narcissist's web of control is a system. It's built through charm, information gathering, social proof, planted doubt, and quiet isolation. It activates when control is threatened, often through smear campaigns, abuse by proxy, and triangulation. And it creates confusion, self-doubt, and isolation in the target. If you recognize this in your life, please hear this. You're not dramatic. You're not imagining things. You've been responding to a real and very confusing system of manipulation. You don't have to fix everything today. Start with one step. Protect your energy. Reduce excess. Anchor your reality. And reconnect with someone safe. If you want the written version of this guide, it's on my website. And if you're still in the fog and you want a gentle first step, you can download my free guide, From Fog to Clarity. If you want a deeper step-by-step roadmap, my paid ebook Recognition Code for Narcissism goes much further into patterns, scripts, and healing direction. And if you need extra support, you can also visit the Healing and Resources page on my site for therapy options and grounding tools. Watch next my video on the Narcissist Smear campaign. If you want more calm clarity like this, you're welcome to subscribe. Take it one calm step at a time. You deserve clarity and peace.